Welcome to Retired to Ride Tour 2024, video number 17. We're off today from near Winchester and we're moving on towards Oxford. I think that's our final destination tonight, with a family stop along the way. And now's the time to say thank you to the family here, Simone and Andrew, and everybody else that's come to see us. It's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much for hosting us and looking after us.
Absolute pleasure.
I'd
Thank
like
you
to
for
say it's
visiting.
been
At least you're honest.
See you later. A little wiggle up the gravel driveway and we're on our way. It's a bright and sunny start to the day and we're hoping it stays that way. Just mooching through some of these pretty English villages. Country lanes with canopies of green trees. Wide open plains as we head towards Marlborough and the weather changes a bit. We have to stop at this point because a coach driver unwittingly has got himself stuck against a fence post. Then we're clear and heading off again over the rolling plains and hills. We meander along through the back roads, avoiding the motorways, heading to Lynham for a family meetup and then on to Oxford. Approaching Oxford, or Botley in Oxford, and our chosen place to stay is the Premier Inn in Botley. For the most part today, we've been lucky with the traffic, the roads, and the weather. Quiet night in Botley, and the next morning we're making our way towards Banbury. The Premier Inn in Botley was surprisingly good and it had motorbike parking. Now we're looking for somewhere to have breakfast. Time for breakfast. We were lucky enough to find this little cafe in Kidlington that allowed us to park directly outside the window of the cafe. And we had a very good breakfast. I think Brenda had a toastie and I was sausage bap time. Then we pick up the road from Kidlington all the way to Banbury via Hopcross Holt, Deddington and Adderbury. It's Sunday morning, so we seem lucky with the traffic so far, not so much with the weather, but we're very much looking forward to catching up with friends and family in the Banbury area. You get into some sort of flow riding roads like this, and I think Brenda's doing a wonderful job as usual with the GoPro 12. We are approaching the crossroads at Hopcross Holt, where there is a hotel founded in 1475. Has a bit of a gruesome history. In 1754, the licensee and his wife were murdered. Also, during the 17th century, this was an area in which the famous or the infamous highwayman Claude Duval operated his or plied his trade. Now you can see I'm looking, quick check to see if there are any highwaymen or parking wardens, which I think are the modern equivalent. Through Hopcross Holt, and now we're heading directly towards Deddington. Deddington, at one time Deidington, and meaning the place of the people of Daida, who was an early Saxon lord. There's a bit of history for you. It has been a market town since the 12th century, and one of the 100 rolls of King Edward I from 1275 to 1276 records Deddington as a borough. So it's a place bathed in history and full of these beautiful rusty yellow stone-coloured houses. Leaving the 30 and 20 mile an hour speed limits in Deddington, this 20 mile an hour stuff's new to me, we get on the open road and make progress towards Adderbury. The name Adderbury is contained within an Anglo-Saxon charter a little over 1,000 years ago. I think you'll agree it's quite a pretty place. And there's some nice pubs here too. Another quick check for highwaymen, vagabonds or parking wardens, and we're on our way to Banbury. Banbury's famous for a particular nursery rhyme, which I might relate to you later. We're heading down the hill on the Oxford Road to Banbury Cross, which is a big monument thingy at the crossroads. The area is steeped in history, particularly around the period of the English Civil War. You can imagine Cromwell's Roundheads and the Royalist Cavaliers skirmishing in the fields around the town.
Ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross. They see a fine lady on a white horse, with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. She shall have music wherever she goes, my duck.
The statue commemorating that nursery rhyme was unveiled by Princess Anne quite some time ago.
So we're leaving Banbury Cross and we're heading into Northamptonshire from Oxfordshire to go and see my mate Fester. See you later.
Again, a quick check for highwaymen or robbers, but I think the only robber I've encountered was the guy that sold me the insurance on my first motorbike. So we spend a few days catching up with my brother from another mother, Fester, and his wife, Shaggy. Plus some much needed time with sons Sean and Matthew before heading away from Banbury towards Wales. A huge thank you to Fester and Shaggy for looking after us for the last few days. It was wonderful. Thanks, guys. Our route today, intentionally avoiding motorways where possible, takes us southeast, across the Cotswolds and down to Pontypool. Passing through Chipping Norton, which is the gateway to the Cotswolds. It's a cloudy kind of day, but it's dry and it's quite warm. We are enjoying just mooching along through the Cotswolds. No hurry really today. And we're going to have lunch in a place called the Baffle Haus in Pontypool, Welsh Wales. Clearing the Cotswold towns and out on the open road again, we begin to make progress on our way to our lunchtime destination in Pontypool. And happily and unusually, some open roads clear of traffic, so we get into the flow. I felt compelled to add some 1970s style film score road music for this bit. The music is entitled Groovy Ambient Funk. I think it's great. I like it so much I might have to go and buy a pair of flares and a tank top. Into Wales and the scenery opens up. It's beautiful and it's getting close to lunchtime. I'm hungry. That bike suggests we're very near to the Baffle Haus, which is a biker's place, and we are. This is an interesting place, very interesting. I see a Goldwing cafe racer. I'll go and take some pictures in a minute. The Baffle House. Very well thought out this, I like it very much. Good burgers too. After a really good lunch, we're on our way, the last stretch of the journey, to Port Talbot. We're planning to stay for a couple of nights with my brother Mark in Port Talbot, but maybe we'll have to ask to extend that stay, looking at the weather forecast for the rest of the week. Anyway, thank you for sharing our time with us, and maybe you'll come back for the next video.